As someone who has followed Guillermo del Toro's work since the days of Hellboy, through the visceral wonder of Hellboy II: The Golden Army, to the delicately heartbreaking poetry of The Shape of Water, I can honestly say that Frankenstein 2025 stands alongside his greatest achievements. Watching this film, I was immediately struck by that familiar Del Toro magic, the perfect blend of darkness and tenderness, horror and beauty, fantasy and profound human emotion. There are directors who can make big spectacles, directors who can craft intelligent narratives, and directors who can create visually striking worlds. While Del Toro does all three simultaneously, and Frankenstein is a testament to why he has become my favorite filmmaker of all time. This isn't just another adaptation of Mary Shelley's classic novel, it's a cinematic experience that feels both intimate and epic, personal yet universal, a perfect storm of artistry that rivals the emotional depth of The Shape of Water. From the very first frame, you can feel Del Toro's fingerprints everywhere. The Gothic world he builds is lush, terrifying and achingly beautiful. Rain-slicked cobblestones glisten under flickering lamplight. Laboratories are cluttered with arcane machinery that hums with life, and every shadow seems to whisper secrets about the characters inhabiting this world. Yet what makes this film truly exceptional isn't just the incredible visuals, it's the heart behind them. Every creature, every set piece, and every frame is designed to serve the story and the characters. The monster isn't just a creature of horror, he is a living, breathing being whose loneliness and longing make him one of the most sympathetic characters I've ever seen on screen. I've seen Del Toro make monsters before, but rarely have I ever felt such empathy, such heartbreak for someone or something so outwardly terrifying. The story itself is a masterclass in pacing and emotional resonance. Del Toro doesn't rush, he allows moments to breathe, giving the audience space to absorb the wonder, fear and sadness of this world. Themes of creation, responsibility, and the consequences of ambition are explored with sophistication, but never in a way that ever feels heavy-handed. Instead, they unfold organically through characters' actions, their mistakes, and the quiet moments that reveal their inner struggles. It's exactly the kind of layered storytelling that made The Shape of Water so unforgettable. A story that's about monsters, yes, but also about humanity, empathy, and the love and pain that define it. In an era dominated by formulaic blockbusters and endless upon endless amounts of sequels and live-action remakes, Frankenstein truly feels like a gift. It's a film that reminds you why you fell in love with cinema in the first place, why directors like Del Toro are worth following with unwavering devotion, because watching it, I was reminded of the same feeling I had when I first saw Hellboy. Its fantastic creatures, or the quiet heartbreaking moments of The Shape of Water. Every detail, every shadow, every note of this haunting score contributes to a film that is as moving as it is visually stunning. Without a shadow of a doubt, Frankenstein is the best film of this year, and for a fan of Del Toro like myself, it is a masterpiece that belongs alongside his finest works. Hey, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that noti bell because it really helps out. If there's one thing that sets Guillermo del Toro apart as a director, it's his ability to create worlds that feel alive, magical, and terrifying all at once. And Frankenstein 2025 proves that he has only refined this skill further. From the very beginning, even though the film has only opened up in such a cold and uncaring setting, there was a feeling that this film was going to be a very unique take on such a beloved story. Del Toro's mastery of visual storytelling is not about spectacle for spectacle's sake, it's about creating a world that communicates mood, theme and emotion, even without the use of dialogue. The laboratories of Victor Frankenstein that we see later on are the perfect example of this. They're not just functional spaces, they are extension of Victor's obsessive mind, arcane machinery that hums and sparks. Glass tubes burn with light in almost magical ways, and instruments are placed with the precision of a painter, arranging brushstrokes on a canvas. The lighting is undoubtedly exquisite, employing Del Toro's signature chiaroscuro style to cast characters in dramatic shadows that highlight them in such a unique and visually interesting way where every corner of the set can tell a story. Creature design is yet another triumph of this film. The monster is undoubtedly terrifying, but also achingly beautiful in a way only Del Toro could possibly imagine. Using practical effects, the character feels grounded, tactile, and profoundly real. Scars and stitches that aren't just horrifying, they convey the fragility, pain, and isolation of a being caught between life and death. Watching him move, observing the subtle expressions in his eyes and posture, I felt the very same heartbreak I did for the amphibious man in The Shape of Water. Here is a creature yearning for connection in a world that will only ever fear him. Cinematography ties all of this together. Del Toro's camera glides through the world with an almost ethereal grace, seamlessly shifting from intimate close-ups that capture emotional nuances to sweeping vistas that highlight the scope of the story. Every shot feels intentional, deliberate and beautiful. Even small details with textures of walls, the placement of instruments, the glint of light on wet stone enhances this sense of immersion. Ultimately, the visuals in Frankenstein aren't just to dazzle, they are to tell a story within their own right. Every frame communicates mood, character and theme, demonstrating why Del Toro is a genius at translating inner emotional landscapes into cinematic poetry. Watching it, I was reminded why I fell in love with his work. There is beauty in darkness, emotion in monstrosity, and humanity even in the most fantastical of creations. If Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein achieves one thing above all else, it is an emotional resonance that rivals, if not surpasses, anything he has done before, even the previous masterpiece, The Shape of Water. Del Toro has always excelled at portraying monsters who are profoundly human, and this film takes that gift to all new heights. Both Victor Frankenstein and his creation are more than archetypes. They are fully realized, complex beings whose struggles, emotions, and moral dilemmas resonate deeply with the audience. Watching them unfold, I found myself empathizing with both, just as I had felt for the amphibian man or the fantastical water creature of Hellboy and Hellboy II. Victor's obsession is portrayed with breathtaking nuance. He is not simply a mad scientist. He is a brilliant yet deeply flawed man driven by curiosity, grief, and a desperate desire to surpass mortality itself. Every decision he makes feels grounded in character, and the consequences of his ambition are devastating, yet heartbreakingly believable. Del Toro allows audiences to see Victor's wonder, fear, and ultimate regret with a clarity that makes his art emotionally devastating. The moral weight of creation and the responsibility that comes with it is explored not as abstract philosophy, but through lived experiences, through failure, loss, and the haunting choices that define Victor as a character. The monster, meanwhile, is one of the most emotionally compelling creatures I have ever seen in cinema. Through a combination of subtle acting, expressive design, and precise direction, he has become a living embodiment of longing, loneliness, and the desire we all feel for connection. Scenes where he watches humans from afar, tentatively tries to communicate, or experiences acts of kindness are heartbreaking in their simplicity. Del Toro ensures that the audience's fear is tempered by empathy, creating a complex emotional tapestry where we are never sure whether to recoil or cry. Watching Frankenstein the Monster, I was reminded of the same feelings I had for Eliza in The Shape of Water, a being so different from society's norms, yet so achingly human, whose very existence challenges our ideas of love, morality, and empathy. The film also explores broader philosophical and ethical themes with remarkable subtlety. Unchecked ambition, the limits of human knowledge, and the consequences of playing God are all central to the story, yet they are never didactic. Instead, they are embedded into the narrative in the characters and their struggles, as well as the world around them. Del Toro's incredible ability to combine high-concept ideas with deeply personal storytelling ensures that Frankenstein is not only just a horror film, but a meditation on humanity itself. Additionally, he balances this emotional and philosophical weight with moments of pure beauty, levity, and wonder. Quiet interactions, fleeting gestures of tenderness, and lyrical visual compositions punctuate the film's darker sequences, creating a rhythm that mirrors the complexity of life itself. The score, haunting yet melodic, amplifies the emotional resonance without ever overwhelming the story. Ultimately, Frankenstein succeeds where few films do because it never sacrifices heart for spectacle. The monster Frankenstein, Victor Frankenstein, and their world are more than just visual or narrative achievements, they are deeply felt emotional experiences. Del Toro always manages to invite audiences not merely just to watch, but to feel, to empathize, and to question. For a fan like me who has followed his career from Hellboy to The Shape of Water, Frankenstein represents the pinnacle of his ability to craft stories that touch the soul while astonishing the senses. As a longtime Guillermo del Toro fan, one of my favorite aspects of his films has always been the way he blends incredible performances with fully realized worlds, and Frankenstein is no exception. The actors deliver performances that are nuanced, emotionally rich, and utterly believable. Every glance, pause, and gesture serves the story, breathing life into characters who could otherwise feel like archetypes. Victor Frankenstein, portrayed with intelligence and emotional depth, is at once brilliant and tragically flawed. The monster Frankenstein, brought to life with an extraordinary combination of prosthetics, subtle CGI, and heart-wrenching physicality, is one of the most memorable and sympathetic characters and creatures I have ever seen. Their interactions, fraught with inevitable tension, empathy, and sorrow, anchor the film emotionally, giving weight to the narrative and heightening the audience's investment. Del Toro's world building is equally impressive. His Gothic cityscapes, intricately designed interiors, and laboratories bursting with strange machinery are more than backdrops. They are characters in their own right. Every prop, every costume, and architectural detail has a story reflecting history, character, and mood. Walking through these spaces, the audience feels fully immersed, experiencing the world as the characters do. Even fantastical elements feel grounded thanks to Del Toro's careful attention to tactile textures, realistic lighting, and consistent internal logic. The combination of practical and digital effects is seamless, creating a universe that is both magical and yet incredibly believable. The synergy between the actors and their environment is what makes Frankenstein so immersive. Del Toro ensures that the performances are informed by the spaces they inhabit. Shadows, corridors, and flickering candlelight all influence the emotional tone. Costumes, too, are integral to characterization. Victor's clothing reflects his obsessive genius, while the monster's appearance evolves alongside his own emotional journey. Every secondary character contributes to the world building, reacting authentically to the events and adding layers of realism and empathy. The attention to historical and cultural detail further enhances immersion. Every set, costume, and prop is meticulously researched, ensuring authenticity and depth. The result is a fully realized world where every element, from the smallest detail to the grandest of set pieces, serves the story, the themes, and the emotional journey of the characters. In short, the combination of powerhouse performances and meticulous world building elevates Frankenstein beyond mere adaptation. It is an immersive experience that engages the senses, the mind, and the heart. Del Toro's vision is realized not just through his own brilliant direction, but through the collaboration of his cast, crew, and environment. For fans of his work, this is the kind of film that reaffirms why we follow him. Every frame is a testament to his genius, every performance a window into a living, breathing world that feels timeless yet vividly intimate. Watching Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is an experience that reminded me why he is my favorite director and why I love films so much. From the days of Hellboy to the exquisite emotional poetry of The Shape of Water, Del Toro has consistently created worlds that are visually stunning, emotionally resonant, and thematically rich. But with Frankenstein, he has yet again reached new heights. This is not just a film adaptation, it is a living, breathing, Gothic masterpiece that marries spectacle, story, and heart in a way that few directors in history have ever accomplished. The film's visuals alone are breathtaking. Every frame is meticulously composed, every shadow and light source imbued with meaning. The Gothic cityscapes, rainy streets, and intricate laboratory are more than just scenery, they are extensions of the characters and their themes, reflecting the story's emotional and moral undertones, with creature designs being spectacular once again. The Frankenstein monster is terrifying yet heartbreakingly human, a being who evokes empathy in a way that only Del Toro could truly achieve. Watching him, I felt the same mixture of awe, sadness, and love that I felt for the amphibian man in The Shape of Water. But what truly elevates Frankenstein is its emotional core. Victor Frankenstein and his creation are fully realized characters whose struggles, flaws, and humanity resonate deeply. Themes of creation, responsibility, and empathy are explored with nuance and subtlety, making the film as intellectually engaging as it is emotionally moving. Every actor delivers depth and authenticity, while every set, costume and visual detail contributes to a coherent, believable and utterly mesmerizing world. Del Toro's ability to combine practical effects, digital enhancements, and meticulous design creates a universe that feels magical yet grounded. Frankenstein is more than just a film. It is a testament to Del Toro's genius. It stands proudly alongside The Shape of Water as a work that captivates, moves, and inspires. In 2025, there is no cinematic achievement that matches its ambition, artistry, or emotional resonance. For fans of Del Toro, like myself, and for anyone who believes in the transformative power of film, Frankenstein is the best movie of 2025. A masterpiece that will be remembered, cherished, and revered for generations to come, much like the book that it's named after.
Oh, I track all my love.